I hope all the problems that we're facing would be solved, but I'm a realist, and I know they won't be. So if anything, I would like somebody to get the idea that if there are problems going on that need addressing, that they would take up whatever that charge is and address those problems, and know that it's important that we do that. So we may have ended the death penalty, but we may still have injustice in the prison system. We may have less, hopefully there's less overt, or even not so visible signs of mistreatment of one another because of race or gender or economic place in society, and somebody is trying to make sure that we continue to work to, purify ourselves of that, so that we see each other as God sees us, and His children, and we live that way. That's what I hope they would get.
Sounds like a cliche, but it sounds like what you're saying. In the March for Justice, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Yeah, well, it is. It is. I've told people about the death penalty movement. Don't get into this and think it's going to happen overnight. If you get into this, you need to get into this knowing it's long term. And the closer you get, that's when the harder the kickback will be. And actually, just so people do know, in Kentucky, that we are getting close. I mean, I actually believe, based on our visits with legislators this year, we actually could pass a bill in the House of abolition, if they would give us the vote, a chance. Not quite there in the Senate yet, but we're not far away. So by the time somebody sees this 50 years ago, there won't be a death penalty in Kentucky. I'm convinced of that.
Wow.
And that'll be nice,
Well, thank you. And Joanna, do you have a question?
I'm pretty happy with it.
We really appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your life and for sharing with us. And hopefully today, in this retrospective, you've probably maybe thought about some things you hadn't thought about in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And
Really?
just seeing yourself, because I know that it's hard to see yourself, people who are modest, as heroic. You're just being a hero. And I always think that the most important legacy we can ever leave is for somebody to call your name and to say, this person made a difference. And you talked about some people that made a difference, and when you call their names, they live. That's what somebody told me.
That's interesting.
That,
I like that.
as long as we call their names, they live.
Yeah, that's
And
nice.
so when you mention, who, the different people you've talked about, who you struggle with, and people who aren't even alive to see this, or the other saying is sometimes we have to plant seeds for trees that we'll never sit under. And I think you've done that with your life. And so thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.